What's up, you guys? I'm Patrick of CoasterFanatics, and welcome to part 2 of the list of my top 20 wooden roller coasters. This video covers the top 10. If you missed the first part, you can find the link to that video in the description, in the comments, and in a card on screen right now. So without further ado, let's get started with the top 10. Kicking off the top 10, I have Screamin' Eagle, the Philadelphia Toboggan Company wood coaster at Six Flags St. Louis. This was a coaster I wasn't expecting much from when I rode it this past summer. Surprisingly, in the end, it was one of my favorite roller coasters I got to ride in 2017. For a ride that was built in the late 70s, Screamin' Eagle is very smooth for its age. This coaster is unique since its third drop is actually bigger than the main drop. Screamin' Eagle is kind of secluded in the back of the park in a nice forest setting. Once you exit the third drop, the ride is filled with endless airtime hills all the way back to the station. In 2016, Screamin' Eagle became an ACE coaster landmark, which is definitely well deserved in my opinion. What really takes Screamin' Eagle to the next level for me is its night ride. It's nearly completely dark, flying through the trees, and you just can't beat that. It's actually become one of my favorite night rides I've ever been on so far. Overall, it's for sure the best coaster in the park and a must ride in my opinion. Next, in the number 9 spot, I have Hades 360, the Gravity Group wood coaster at Mount Olympus. Similar to the Voyage, this is a very intimidating coaster to look at from the ground. I mean, this thing just looks massive. That first drop is one of the best drops on any wooden roller coaster. It drops immediately into a huge underground tunnel that travels under the whole parking lot. This tunnel is actually considered the longest underground tunnel on any roller coaster in the world. It's filled with tons of little airtime hills and is usually totally dark, making it even more thrilling. After exiting the tunnel, you immediately pass through the ride's signature element, which is the 360-degree barrel roll, hence the name Hades 360. After that, you hit a slightly overbanked turn, a small airtime hill, and then pass through the tunnel again in the opposite direction. After exiting the tunnel again, you hit some nice airtime hills that pass through the structure of the lift hill for some nice head chopper moments. The ride then ends with more low-to-the-ground banked turns all the way back to the station. A lot of people hate on this coaster and say it's rough. I didn't feel the ride was rough at all. In fact, I thought it was fantastic and is definitely one of the best creations by Gravity Group so far. I'm sure it probably gives an excellent night ride as well. Hopefully I can experience that sometime soon. Coming in the number 8 spot, I have Shivering Timbers, the CCI wood coaster at Michigan's Adventure. This is another massive coaster. In fact, it's one of the longest wooden roller coasters in the world. It's funny, Shivering Timbers is such a simple design. It's basically just airtime hills and a helix in the end. I could imagine a little kid being able to draw up this simple layout. Even though it's simple, it's still a very thrilling ride that provides nice airtime. That's what this coaster was made for, and it does it very well. When I rode it a few years ago, it still had the signature trick track element that kind of gave you the illusion that the track was going to derail. Unfortunately, they removed it and added another airtime hill because people said the trick track was too rough. It didn't bother me at all, to be honest, but hey, what can you do? Many people say the whole ride is rough. I personally disagree. I mean, it's not the smoothest ride in the world, but it's definitely re-rideable. One of my favorite names and logo as well. Shivering Timbers is just so fitting for a big wood coaster like this. It's kind of unfortunate that this coaster is at Michigan's Adventure, because not nearly enough people get to ride it. I consider it to be very underrated, even though it still ranks in the top 50 wooden roller coasters in the world. Ranking in the lucky number 7 spot, I have Goliath, the RMC Topper Track coaster at Six Flags Great America. This is another straight up badass coaster. I feel very lucky to have this awesome coaster at my home park. RMC is well known for their iBox conversions, but it's in their Topper Track where they shine the most in my opinion. Goliath features the longest drop on any wooden roller coaster operating today at 180 feet. It's a compact design that provides high thrills throughout. The whole ride features several high-speed overbank turns and excellent airtime. Where Goliath really shines is its two amazing inversions, the first being the dive loop and the second being the unforgettable zero-G stall. Both these inversions provide some of the best hang time on any roller coaster I've been on. Overall, the ride is perfect with the exception of the duration. It's a short ride, but it's one you'll never forget. Next, in the number 6 spot, I have Mystic Timbers, the brand new GCI wood coaster at Kings Island. This coaster won the award for Best New Coaster in 2017, and it was well deserved in my opinion. Mystic Timbers has some of the best ejector airtime you'll find on a GCI. Airtime was why this coaster was built, and it excels in it. The ride also features their signature curve drop and several S-curves that give great laterals. The trains look like a vintage GMC truck and are very well done. The whole theme is very well done, to be honest. Although the shed was a bit of a letdown, it's unique and is an entertaining part of the ride. You can't help but love the logo as well, although they did kind of steal the Timbers name from Shivering Timbers you've seen earlier in the list. I must have rode this coaster around 15 times on opening day and I enjoyed every minute of it. Excellent work by GCI and Kings Island. Kicking off the top 5, I'm staying at Kings Island and I'm going with the Beast. The massive wood coaster built in-house at Kings Island in 1979. The Beast is probably the most well-known wooden roller coaster ever built. Hell, even R.L. Stine wrote a book featuring the legendary roller coaster. The Beast opened as the longest wooden roller coaster in the world and still holds that record today. That just goes to show you how ahead of its time the Beast really was. The first drop falls right into an underground tunnel. Once you exit, the wild ride through the forest begins. Although it doesn't have that much airtime or many fancy elements throughout the ride, it does provide some of the best forest views of any coaster I've been on. I mean, the Beast is so secluded that when you ride it, you forget you're even at an amusement park. It's just you and the Beast, and it's awesome. Of course, my favorite part of the ride is the final drop, which is unique since it's banked to the left and leads right into a huge double helix. Although many people say the ride leaves a lot to be desired, it's undeniable the amazing night ride the Beast gives. Your life is not complete without riding the Beast at night, and it should be on everyone's bucket list. I don't care what other enthusiasts say, the Beast is an important part of roller coaster history and provides a truly memorable experience. I think it's safe to say it's the wood version of Millennium Force. Enthusiasts hate it, but everyone else loves it. Go figure. Ranking in the number 4 spot, I have my favorite GCI, and that's Renegade at Valley Fair. I know most of you won't agree, but I absolutely love this coaster, and it is no doubt the best GCI I've rode so far. That being said, I haven't rode Gold Striker yet, so that could easily change. Renegade starts off with its very unique S-curve drop that I've never seen on any other coaster. It's a nice change of pace from the regular curve drops on other GCIs I've mentioned in this list. Renegade just keeps you out of your seat the whole time with endless ejector airtime throughout the twister layout. Of course, it also has a station flyby and a mild western theme that fits very well. Just like Shivering Timbers, Renegade is so far north that not enough people get to ride it, and it's a shame because it's a must ride that more people need to experience in my opinion. Now for the top 3, and please keep in mind you guys, all 3 of these are fantastic and could easily change places depending on the day. Starting off my top 3, I have El Toro, the Intamin prefab coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure. This has to be the craziest roller coaster in the United States, and possibly even the world. El Toro features the most intense ejector airtime I've felt on any roller coaster, and that includes some of the steel airtime machines like Skyrush. To be honest you guys, I don't even know how El Toro stays on the track, especially on the first hill after the drop, and the hill just before you drop into the spaghetti bowl section. It's not just the airtime either. El Toro has crazy overbank turns that provide some intense laterals. The whole ride transitions well with nearly no straight track. It's just one element after another and it never lets up till the end. This is another coaster I've heard a lot of people call rough, but it's false. Just because a ride is intense don't mean it's rough. Just like the Beast, this is another coaster everyone needs to experience at least once. It should definitely be on your bucket list. Falling down into the number 2 spot from last year's list, I have Lightning Rod, the RMC Topper Track coaster at Dollywood. This is a great example of fantastic engineering from RMC. Who would have ever thought we'd see the day with a launch on a wooden roller coaster? Luckily for all of us, 2016 was that year. Lightning Rod is one hell of a ride that rides with the terrain very well. The beginning of the ride is all about the bank turns and transitions, but then on your way back it's all about the airtime with the amazing quadruple down. I only got to ride this coaster once when it first opened, which is why it dropped to number 2 this year. I'm hoping to get more rides on it this year and hopefully some night rides as well. After that happens, who knows, it could be back on top next year. Now to meet the new coaster at number 1. Ranking in the number 1 spot, I have Outlaw Run, another RMC Topper Track coaster at Silver Dollar City. I had high expectations for this coaster when I rode it this past summer. Those expectations were easily met. I had a blast on Outlaw Run, which is why it's now at the top of my wood coaster list. The ride isn't very long, but it does have an amazing first drop and features some of the best and most well-known elements from Rocky Mountain construction. Outlaw Run has the most inversions of any wooden roller coaster in the world with 3. They include a 150-degree overbank curve, and of course the ride's signature double heartline roll. You can't forget about the awesome wave turn as well. The ride is smooth and intense, but not overly intense. It's one of the most thrilling coasters I've ever been on, and it makes me laugh like a kid again. Outlaw Run is an unforgettable ride in my book, and I can't wait to ride it again this summer. Truly a special coaster in my opinion. So there you have it, that was the list of my top 20 wooden roller coasters. I hope you all enjoyed, and thanks for sticking around to the end. Make sure you all share your roller coaster lists in the comments. I'm really interested to see what you all come up with. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please smash that like button. Do leave your thoughts in the comment section. If you're new around here, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, you guys. Have a good one. I'll catch you all in the next video very, very soon.